Hello, TopFanRivalry followers. Welcome to another edition of Unraveling the Red Sox. This one's going to get unique because we have a Dodger who won a home run derby. We have a Red Sox who won an All-Star Game MVP. We have a Dodger Red Sox series, um, which we'll talk a little bit about, and then the Red Sox crazy schedule for the next couple of weeks. So, Mike, how's it going, man? Are you ready to talk some Red Sox baseball?
I'm always ready to talk Red Sox baseball. You know what we also got was a Red Sox inductee into the Hall of Fame. Two, actually, technically speaking, two Red Sox into the Hall of Fame. So,
Listen, it's all about the Red Sox. And by the
sure.
way, can I just tell you, as somebody one time told me, peanut butter and jealous, can I just tell you how jealous I am that you guys always seem to have the Sunday night game of the week? So this week you had Sunday night game of the week. A couple weeks ago when you were playing the Yankees, you have Sunday night game of the week. Next Sunday you guys are playing the Yankees, so you have Sunday night game of the week. Can I just tell you, I'm like the Red Sox are always on Sunday night game of the week. What the heck?
You had the Sunday night game of the week this week, too, man.
Once a year. We get it once a year. You get it 14 times a year. We get it once a year.
Honestly, I don't know. It's because ESPN is smack in the middle of Boston and New York. It has to be the reason. I can't say that like it's history. I can't because the Dodgers have a great history as a team and as an organization. So, you can't use that as the base. You can't say that the Red Sox have a better team than the Dodgers because that's also not true, So like I don't know. That has to be the reason. It just has to be some home cooking from that four letter network.
Yeah, it's like George Strait calls Texas cooking, right? Well, maybe
Their
it's just
producers, their producers want to go home early. They don't want to be up until 2 a.m.
to him. Well, welcome to being on the East Coast.
Well,
So, talk to me about what did you think about the home run derby? Did you like the new format? Did you like the derby? What did you think?
I enjoyed it a lot actually. I've always enjoyed the home run, the All-Star weekend. I think that Major League Baseball does the best All-Star game weekend of all the sports.
Okay.
Uh I think that there's something about the home run derby that like just is so classic and takes really one of the most exciting games or part aspects of the game and just amplifies it.
Yeah.
um there can still be so much drama because the competition is like quantifiable versus like the slam dunk contest, which is totally subjective. uh and like what one person thinks is cool for a slam dunk contest, like another person might not. Like, same thing with the NHL and the skills competition, like
Thank you.
you're doing many skills. The home run derby is just one skill, one aspect of the game. Uh so I just think that yeah, the home run derby and the Major League All-Star game weekend is just done really quite well. Also, they get, well, I guess celebrities like to play basketball and hockey too, but you know, I feel
I
like
know
they
where you're going
do
with this. Yeah,
they do a good
this
job with that. They do a great job with the futures too, so they wrap the entire uh you know uh professional sport into it, where you get to see like the minor leaguers that are on the cusp, and on a major market getting that exposure on a national level. These players that usually you only know about if you're like really hardcore or they're on your team or they're a prospect for your team. Um, like same thing. Like nobody gets excited about the G League or like the Canadian Youth Hockey All Stars.
uh-huh.
So I enjoyed the entire weekend. I always watch the home run derby for as much as I can, and I try and watch the All Star game as much as I can also. And it doesn't hurt when it's like the only thing in town uh, during this time of year too. So, uh,
Truth,
you know,
truth.
there's not like another game, another sport that you can turn on like in early mid July instead of the All Star game. So they also have that
Truth.
going for them. So
So I loved it like you, and I actually had, I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually had picked Teoscar. So Top Gun Rivalry did a home run derby bracket, right?
yeah.
I actually picked my top four were Teoscar winning it, Bobby Witt Jr. coming in second place. I had Gunnar Henderson coming in third, and Alec Bohm coming in fourth. So I got
Wow.
three out of the four right.
Yeah.
I mean, but I was not surprised with some of the people that went out early. I
No.
think it's always pressure when you're playing in your own home ballpark to compete. So I wasn't surprised that Garcia went out early. I wasn't surprised that Pete Alonso went out early. I was a little surprised at Marcel. I'm not going to give you my driver's license, but I played for the Braves, Asuna. I was surprised that he went out early, but Jose Ramirez surprised me at how well he did in that first round. Alec
Yeah.
Bohm.
I really, really think that Jose Ramirez had a great showing.
Mhm.
He's such an under the radar guy because he because he plays in Cleveland, like everybody's like, oh, it's the Guardians or whatever, they changed their name and this and that, but Jose Ramirez is just such a good player, and he reminds me, maybe not as eccentric, but he's very Manny esque, where he
Yeah,
just goes out there and you know uh plays the game hard, plays the game well, has one of the best swings in baseball right now.
yes,
Just makes it look easy to play the game. Same, and
yes.
and and he plays an amazing third base also. So the same thing, like just makes it look easy to be so good at one of the most difficult positions on the field.
So he reminds me a little bit of Juan Uribe, if you remember him as
Oh,
well.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So he just suits up, and nobody pays attention to how good he is
Right.
because he always plays on a team that is either undervalued or with a bunch of other superstars, right? And but he's really, really good at his craft. And
Yeah.
so I mean yeah, it was pretty amazing what he did. It did not surprise me that Teoscar won it. I would have interchanged Bobby Wood Jr. and Teoscar. I knew that those two were that good. And
Yeah.
by the way, Bill Adamas right now, Bill Adamas says that Bobby Wood Jr. in the next 3 years after this season will win the home run derby at some point.
Oh, probably. As long as
He's
he
that
wants
good.
to keep, as long as he wants to play,
Yeah.
compete, however you want to put it. I mean, I I've been on the Bobby Witt Jr. train since the very beginning of the season. I think that he is the next, big thing. Here's the old big thing, my Harper shirt.
Ah, B Harp.
I still love Harper, but Bobby
Yeah.
is like the next player
Yeah.
in that ilk, in that thread, in that mold, to really kind of capture a lot of swagger and a lot of attitude uh for the game. And a second generation player, he's born into it. Uh so I really wanted to see him win. Uh all the love to Teoscar. That was amazing. High drama competition down to the final pitch, like
Yeah.
you can't make that stuff up in any other sport.
I'm
Uh,
gonna tell you right now, I loved the new format because the home run derby only went about 2.5 hours.
right.
I hated the I mean, I loved the derby, but I hated the 10 out rule because pitchers could take forever, hitters like and you hit 40 home runs in a or 30 home runs in the first round. and you got to wait until the ball lands before the next pitch can go or whatever. That could be a 45-minute round just
Yeah.
for you alone. And
It
so
did take it did used to take a very long time, and I think that that's kind of where people started to lose the interest a little bit in it.
yeah,
But I think that this format was great. It kept the contest moving,
yes, yes,
and it was engaging,
yes,
so
100%,
it was great. Uh,
100%.
the next night, the game, what a great game also. And of course, you have the Red Sox and Otani square in the middle of what's going on, what went on in the All-Star game. It's like it led right into, the first series after the break.
I didn't want to say that because I don't I don't agree with trampling on a man's grave, but you're absolutely right. It was almost like the baseball gods were saying, "Well, watch this. We're going to continue this
Right.
into."
Here's a little sneak preview of our greatest series coming out of the break. And it was, and we'll move on to that, I'm sure, in just a moment. But you have Otani hit the 3-run homer off of Hauk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then you have Duran hit the 2-run bomb, to for the final scoring of the game to win the game for
yes,
the AL. So
yes,
it was like apropos. It was just completely poetic and great. And as a Dodger fan and as a Red Sox fan, it was just you square in the middle of the action, and lots
1,000.
lots of fun. And it's really great to see. I mean, again, we see it now, and we've touched on this in the past. Like uh we play all those teams twice, once home and once away.
Mhm.
Every season now. It's outside of your division. Uh, so you get to see these guys interact like with each other when they're playing against each other. But to see the best players in the game, the all stars, really, to see them interacting, that's always one of my favorite parts too, because it moves the game beyond the field. You get a much more personal attachment to these guys. And to go back to the Derby for a quick second, and then we'll get back to the game itself. But to see Vladdy
Yeah,
wearing the Teoscar jersey,
yeah,
that
Oscar
was great.
jersey.
Like they
Yeah,
obviously formed this immense bond last season in Toronto, and uh, was it last season or was he in Seattle last year? But when
last
they
season he
played
was
in
in Seattle.
but when he was in Toronto when Vladdy was young.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So, they had this great, relationship, and to see that on display, and then just to see the guys interacting like in the dugout and stuff like that, and just having a great time. It's like it's like little kids again, and we got to see uh future. He's not going to be a pirate for too long. Phenom there, Paul Skeens, absolutely, uh, show up and show out during that game. So
I
he's another guy that I've been saying to keep an eye on if you've been reading me in the locker room
Yeah,
uh, for a long time. And yeah,
yeah, there's something special about that kid. And
yeah, yeah.
and remember, I mean, last year he was pitching for Air Force, right? And I don't, how do you say this? This is going to sound terribly wrong, but I don't know that he realizes the gravity of what he's doing right now,
I
right?
think he
He
does. I think he does.
still got the college girlfriend. Like they just, they seem like it's just, I'm here and awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Maybe there's a little bit of that. Maybe there's a
yeah,
little bit of that, but I think that he knows that he's good, and uh he's still humble. So
Yeah.
he knows that he's good, but he also knows that he's good.
He knows that he's good, but he also, well, he knows he's good.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else was really a standout? How about Mason Miller?
Yeah. Yeah. Kid threw 105-mile-an-hour pitch, was
Yep.
averaging 101.
Yes.
And I know that I know that hitters can eat that for breakfast. I get it. But when you're seeing it consistently and then he drops down to 92, 93 on a changeup, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's a big
Night and
difference.
day. Night and day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go drive your car 103 and then drive it 92.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, or go to the batting cages. Go to the batting
Yeah.
cages and go in there at a 60-mile-an-hour pitch and then look at this, or 80-mile-an-hour pitch, and then look at the 70-mile-an-hour pitch and tell me how different that is to you.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Exactly.
and you know what's coming and you know where it's going to go. So,
Yeah.
I, which is different than Major League Baseball.
It
So,
was just really I mean, I think that uh last season Otani and Miller probably faced off once or twice, but that was a really impressive at bat to watch. I was on the edge of my seat
yeah.
watching Mason Miller versus Otani, and Miller obviously
Well,
won that
you guys
that
had a
battle.
great
But
bullpen. I mean, the American League had a great bullpen. The national, what I liked about this game was, and this is going to be unique, and you may agree or disagree, you know, but what I loved about this game was there have been all-star games where they seem like they're too serious. If we
yeah,
want that, well, that's what the regular season is for. That's what the playoffs are for, right? And then
right.
there's been all-star games where there's just too much playing around and horsing around. It felt like this was kind of in the middle of that. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember years ago when Barry Bonds hit a home run that Torrey Hunter went back in Milwaukee and took back, like brought it back. Like and then as Barry Bonds is running out to his position, he picks up Torrey Hunter and throws him over his shoulder. Okay,
sure. Yep.
funny as that was, that's a little much for me, right? You want to see that in the home run derby. You want to see the guys messing around with their kids and things like that during the home run derby. But during the game, ah, people pay good money to be at that.
Right. Yep.
So, so yeah, absolutely. By the way, going back to the home run derby for 1 second, when Alec Bohm needed a refreshment, he drank out of a jug. What did the jug say?
Shoot, I don't know. Was
It
this
said
in his
Wooder.
first at bat? I missed his first at bat.
Yeah, it said Wooder. 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 That's how they say water in, I guess, in Philly. Wooder.
Oh, geez. All right. Yeah, sure.
So, oh, yes, it said Wooder. So,
Water. All right. All right. Everybody's got their
yeah,
own,
yeah. So, I mean, but that's the kind of stuff. So I
like
like the game.
WATAH up here, water.
Water. Water. So, but I like the game when there's a little horsing around, but when it gets too much, so like the guys are smiling, they were laughing, they were having a good time. Your boy hit a two-run home run. Like you said, Mason Miller v, who's not going to be an A forever, v Shohei
He
Ohtani. That
might
was
not
a
even
great
be
at
in there
bat.
for another 3 weeks.
Yeah, three 3 weeks at best.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, too awesome. Okay, so take me out of the All-Star break. The Dodgers meet the Red Sox. I will tell
Yeah.
you right now, as a Dodger fan, I will tell you right now, this is probably the best three-game series I've seen all season so far. Because it literally was nail biting through the end, including tonight with the 9-6 victory, which should
Yep.
have been a 9-3 victory. But talk to me about this series. What did you see? What did you like? All of it.
I mean, what didn't I like is that the Red Sox got swept. Like
Right.
I really didn't want to see that happen. They didn't need that to happen. Uh, coming up. But what I did see, what I did really like is that no matter what game it was, they didn't give up. These were back and forth games, or games that rode on one mistake, i.e., game one. With the Freeman, home run, the grand slam by Freeman. Like they were they were taking care of business, right? 1 run lead, all that you needed. You had future MVP Jaron Duran, uh, leading the charge, and he continued to tonight. Right out of the gate, 2 run home run. He hit the home run in the first game that almost took them all the way. Last night was an epic battle back and forth, haymakers all around, ghost runners and uh, 2 run bombs, and then there was Kike Hernandez. Old friends that come back to bite you in the butt.
Old friends
It,
die hard, right?
it seems like it seems like it happens to the Red Sox, quite regularly this season because they let old friends walk all the time. Justin Turner beat them earlier in the season. When they played the Blue Jays. And it's something that the Red Sox are, or at least the players and the team itself are very aware of, as Alex Cora made mention of it. Going into the series, specifically with Kike. And of course, he comes up in a huge spot last night and ties the game. And then I believe either knocked in or scored the winning run. Uh, Quickly in one ear and out the other. Mind of a goldfish.
So he knocked in he hit the home run to tie
Right.
the
He
thing up.
tied the game. He tied the game in the ninth, and then he tied the game again in the 11th, right? Or 10th. That's what it was.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Old friend.
that's right. Hey, so what I did like was that I saw a ton of fight out of this team. Guys that I might have been a little bit down on earlier in the season, i.e. Dom Smith has really done everything that he can. You can't I can no longer hate on Dom Smith because he's been thrust into this position that he probably shouldn't have been ever had to be in. And he's done service. He's been serviceable. He's done the job. Um, like our bullpen is a little bit beat up right now, especially in the back end. So that's kind of where some of these late inning breakdowns have kind of stemmed from. We don't have the shutdown arms that the team had when they were really on their hot stretch pre All-Star break. Um, so hopefully they don't hang their heads too low because this was an absolutely amazing series. Like you said, edge of your seat
Mm.
each and every game. Um, Hopefully it's not the last time that the Red Sox and the Dodgers see each other. Uh, and
Next year.
now we are on to hopefully a way to kind of uh, take back the little teensy tiny bit of momentum that was lost in this series, pick it back up by taking care of Colorado over the next couple of days before the Yankees head back to Fenway and we start this absolutely torrid stretch of playoff caliber teams.
So Mike, I'll tell you, the Dodgers struggled. We talked about the soft line. The last 2 games of the before the All-Star break, they were up 5 runs and lost to the Tigers. The next night they were up 2 runs and lost to the Tigers. So they ended up, I think I lost you.
Oh, sorry.
Um, so they were up a couple of times, and then when you guys had us, and I was getting text messages like crazy for Friday night's game, and people were like, Red Sox, I said, guys, the Red Sox pitching is really good. I've been saying it all year
Yeah,
on
we've been
Unraveling
talking
the
about
Red
it all
Sox,
year.
right? The only thing I think you guys screwed up on is you never walk. I don't care lefty, lefty, righty, righty. You never walk a catcher who, though Will Smith can hit, you can double him up to face a future Hall of Famer. Now, I know I'm sounding like a homer, but tell me that I'm wrong. Freddie Freeman is probably a future Hall of Famer.
Oh yes.
And so you don't walk and I next time Alex Cora calls me, I won't send her a voicemail. I'm kidding, but my question for him would be, why are you? I get the lefty lefty matchup. I get it. I get it. But, but, a lefty lefty matchup, when just a base hit puts you behind,
Right.
right? Just a base hit alone puts you behind.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're putting the winning run in scoring position. What are you doing? And so that one was a little unique to me. Now Freddie went yard and Dodgers went 4-1. Yesterday's game, I was actually at yesterday's game. What a phenomenal game, Mikey. That was great. And the only place, I mean, every team has a game where they hit 4, 5, 6 home runs. Like this is nothing spectacular. The Dodgers didn't beat the Red Sox down. They just had one of those games where they were just connecting.
Yeah. And they
The
were all
oh,
solo shots, like you said. It's not like they got beat down. It's not like they were hitting
right,
3-run bombs all over the place. And the Red Sox gave up 25 hits, you know.
right, exactly. And see the the frustrating part for me is like as a fan, right? As a Dodger fan, yes. But if I'm you, I'm throwing something at the TV in the bottom of the first inning because you come out and in 3 pitches, you
Oh
tell
yeah.
James Paxton, stay where you're at, bro. We got this. And you're
Yeah.
up 2-0. And then the Dodgers come back and score two, no shutdown inning. And then James Paxton went and said, all right,
I got this.
I got the
Yeah.
memo now. Watch
Yeah.
this.
Right.
And so you had to stick, you had the chance to stick your foot in his throat. And that's why we talk about this on the show all the time, the shutdown innings. I was going to bring it up to you like the second that it happened because that's fundamental baseball, right?
Yep.
But it was a great listen, if I could get every series when we play against Boston like that, I'll take it. And yes, I like the outcome, but forget that for a second. That was a great, great series, right?
Sure. Just from a pure baseball standpoint, take our loyalties out of it.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch those games. Nobody wants, not nobody, but who's watching Cleveland versus Detroit?
Mhm. Right.
Who's
Right.
watching Minnesota, Milwaukee?
Mhm.
I'm taking a nap watching Minnesota, Milwaukee.
So
They're good, fine and
here's
all,
the
but
funny part. Now we move everything out to November. I'm waiting for the day when we have a World Series that's like Colorado versus Minnesota, where every
in the
game's
snow.
below like 15 degrees. And if you don't live in Denver, if you don't live in the Twin Cities and Minneapolis area, ain't nobody
Yeah,
watching that World
nobody.
Series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
No.
Don't worry. The
Uh,
Rockies. I can't say they'll never because they've done it, but
yeah. But here's what I'm going to say, and I mean this, and I'll say this tomorrow night. I think we're going to do a live. I think we're going to do a live tomorrow night to recap it with Mikey and I. If we do, I'll let you know because you're welcome to come on as a guest on the Instagram live. But here's and I'll die on this hill for this. You proved to me this week, and we've been talking about this for 4 months now. But you proved to me after watching these 3 games, you guys are a playoff team. You
yeah,
guys are a very, very good team. You just and any way, shape, or form, this series could have been changed with just a couple of pitches to Freddie Freeman, right?
yep,
Um, yesterday, Kenley Jansen comes down and shuts it down. Now you guys took 2 out of 3, right? I mean, so either way, but you proved it to me that you guys are a playoff team.
yep, definitely.
So
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight this season, and I don't know exactly what is going on there that's making them, whether it is like the Cora thing, which I think that has a huge part of it, like the contract situation with Alex Cora, whether he's going to be back next year or not, which unfortunately I don't think he is. But we'll talk about that as the season kind of wraps up more because we're smack in the middle of it right now. But whatever the reason is, like this has a very you know like 2013-esque feel.
Yeah.
Obviously there was a whole completely different motivating factor in 2013, but there is some motivating factor has been a catalyst for this team. Uh,
Yes, sir.
where they're performing beyond where they probably really should be.
Yeah.
If you looked at the team on paper, uh,
Yeah.
and it just leads to the again, and I'll say this over and over again: the most fun baseball, the most fun brand of baseball that we've seen here in you know
Hmm.
since 2018. So some 6 years.
Yeah. What? Listen, Mikey. Those two, and granted, this is an allegiance thing, right? This is a Dodgers thing. I'm sure this is a Red Sox thing for you too. But if ESPN decided to show any one of those games as an instant classic, I'd watch it again because they were
Yep.
fun. They were
Yeah.
fun to watch. And
Yeah.
you and I can both appreciate a 1-0 game or a 1-1 game. Some
Sure.
can't, but we understand that the ultimate battleground is pitcher versus hitter, right? And it's just the way that it
I mean, one of
rolls.
my all-time favorite games is a 1-0 game. I
Yeah,
think it was. I think it was in the. Uh, I think it was in the 13 playoff run. Napoli, yeah, right. Napoli
yeah, yeah,
Victorino, that was
Napoli.
13, right? Versus Verlander. Mike Napoli hit one home run in like the third inning, and it was a 1-0 game the whole way. And like, what's better than that? That's like game 7 hockey stuff.
Yeah,
Because that's
no,
like one mistake, one play changes everything.
listen, 1,000%, 1,000%, 1,000%. And what I love about this, Mike, and I'm not gonna lie to you, what I love about this is like I was watching the game on Friday. I was getting pissed. I was gonna text you, but obviously I knew it was Friday night. Friday night for me is date night with Amber, so I didn't. I'm very cautious on what I do with people on Friday night because I don't know if it's your guys' date night. I know you got a little one, but so I didn't text you. But I literally was sitting there thinking, man, the Dodgers are expanding the strike zone. I watched a couple of guys strike out on pitches that they should have never swung at. And I'm thinking, okay, the Red Sox are in their head. Maybe this thing in Detroit is coming over from the All-Star break and yada yada yada. And again, I still don't know. I, Alex Cora is where he's at because he's good at what he does. I'm where I'm at because, like, I got a face for radio. Um, that being said, I still would have never walked the
Right.
bases loaded. Put now,
Yeah.
if you guys are up 2 runs, different story, different story.
Sure.
But
Yep.
but a ground ball to left center field, a single to left center field makes the game 2-1. And what are the odds that Freddie Freeman, who has over 2,200 hits in his career, is going to get a base hit? And
Pretty
and
good.
he loves that inside
Yeah.
curveball stuff, which is what he hit the ball out of the yard on.
Probably close to 1 in 3.
Exactly. Probably close to 3. You're just praying that you're the second or the third, not the one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Don't be the one. Don't be the one.
I mean, I just and you almost got a text message when the ball went out of the yard because I almost texted you to ask you that question. Then I thought, well, I'd be pretty pissed off if I just gave him a 1-0 lead and made it 4-1 and somebody's texting me about it. So I'll just let him be. I'll reach out to him over the weekend.
I would always welcome that, but I'll be completely honest. I was in bed.
That's part of the reason why I didn't do it either. Because by the time that happens, it's
I
like
was
midnight or
asleep,
1 a.m.
right? I was asleep, but I woke up and I was like, oh, because that's one of the first things I do when I wake up is see like what happened. So,
Yeah.
check and see what happened the night before. And yeah, so it wasn't a great wake up. But Uh, I know that it was such a great series. I look forward to what we got on deck with the Rockies to ramp up for Yankees, Astros, Rangers, Orioles, Astros, Yankees, Mariners,
Ready, break.
Astros.
Break. Yeah, you guys got so for those of you that listen to the show in quite often, there might be something that's going to be a little different about this show this week. We there's a good chance we won't have a show next week because Mike and I are going to try to meet up when I'm in Boston for the Boston Yankees game. If we miss each other and we can't go live, maybe we'll go live from the stadium. Who knows? We'll give you guys something and then we'll catch up again in a week. But Mike, you just mentioned it. Before we can meet again, you have the Colorado Rockies for 3 in Colorado. You need to bounce back, take 2 out of 3 there. Then,
Minimum.
then you get the Bronx Bombers at home, and you get Seattle at home. Seattle just came off of a 5-game losing streak. They showed a statistic today on MLB.com or on MLB Network. I don't know if you saw it or not, but June 19th, June 19th, which is 1 month and 2 days ago, the Astros are 33 and 40. They're 10 games out of first place. As of recording tonight, the Astros, if the season were to end today, the Astros would go to the playoffs, even though they're tied. The Astros hold the tiebreaker, and they're half a percentage point ahead, even though they're tied for first place. So anything can happen. You guys are getting a Julio Rodriguez may be out for a little bit of time. You guys are getting
Yeah.
a team that's a little bit banged up. So take advantage of that. Take
Yep.
advantage of
Yep.
that.
We'll definitely have to take advantage where we can. And I think that is one of the things that has been great about this team, the Red Sox this year, is that they've taken advantage of their opportunities that have been presented to them. Uh, they're opportunists. They're a smart baseball team. Again, I'll say it, they're a fun baseball team. It is enjoyable to keep track and to pay attention to what is going on with this team.
I
Because
love it.
again, I don't often get an opportunity to watch the game on TV, but I always listen and I always know what's going on. And by the way, I love listening to games on the radio up here in Boston because we sadly, but he's still around once in a while, are losing our Hall of Fame broadcaster, the from the 2024 Hall of Fame class. Say it with me with your nose pinched. Joe Castiglione. Uh,
Yeah,
Congratulations to Joe Castiglione. Congratulations to Adrian Beltre, who spent a fantastic season, even though he ended Jacoby Ellsbury's career with us in Boston. Todd Helton and Joe Mauer as well, all so deserving of Hall of Fame induction. 3 players from the not my formative years, but from the years where I started really paying attention and understanding baseball on a different level as an adult. And as a catcher, like Joe Mauer was one of my favorite catchers of all time. We started talking tonight about professional hitters, and Beltre and Helton are almost there's probably no more professional hitters than those 2 guys. You knew you were getting about a 300 average from those 2 guys every year. Home runs scored, good gloves defensively, and driving in runs. So, and again, I've had the pleasure of listening to one of the most fun baseball broadcasters. Again, we go back to Red Sox and Dodgers. Vince Scully is one of the all-time greats, like top, probably number 1 of all time, broadcasting the game. But Joe Castiglione is a very high ranking radio broadcaster for the Red Sox that I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to listen to for my entire Red Sox career, listening career. So Great to see this Hall of Fame class come in, and I wouldn't not want to mention them on our episode this week.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for doing that. And for those of you that listen to this, there's going to be some very special things that are happening in Top Fan Rivalry that are coming up. Mike, I haven't even talked to you about these, but we'll have to talk about them offline. But there's going to be some very special things that are going to be coming up here in the very near future. Private events, softball games. I think we have 3 softball games booked September, October, November. It's going to be amazing. One of them is going to be, well, not necessarily in your neck of the woods, but in Virginia. So we might have to have you take a train down and lace them up for a day.
Let's
So,
do it.
you know, um, but Mike, from the bottom of my heart, I love talking Red Sox baseball with you. I get so excited about your episodes because you have the passion for the game, the same passion that I have for the game. And it's fun to just chat it up and just really make it happen. So, Mike, let's do it again. Let's get live this week, and then let's do it again in another week or so.
Bill, I can't wait. And if you're out there watching this and listening to this episode, make sure that you share it with somebody, because there's no better banter on this platform than unraveling the Red Sox. I will go on and I will banter with Harmony, with Mike, with anybody that you got out there, Bill. With Sam. If you haven't heard Sam and I go at it, you're missing out. Go search for those episodes.
Listen,
But share this broadcast, this conversation with a friend that likes baseball also. And we look forward to continuing to bring you awesome baseball content here at Top Fan Rivalry.
I appreciate it. Let's do it. All right, Mike, we will talk to you again soon. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Have a good one.